We have 3 exciting stories for you to watch, so be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to remain ahead of the competition. Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. Let's begin. According to reports from Racing News, Red Bull has submitted its new car to the FIA's mandatory crash tests. These tests are essential in ensuring the car meets safety standards before it can be fully assembled and taken to the track. The new chassis must withstand various impact scenarios to be approved and cleared for final construction. All teams are making their last preparations before building their cars for the upcoming season, with some teams being further along in the process and others still completing key development stages. Because they assess the vehicle's structural integrity in harsh environments, these crash tests are crucial for guaranteeing driver safety. Teams must push the boundaries of their designs to meet the FIA's stringent requirements for these evaluations. The chassis must be able to withstand high-energy hits while keeping the driver's survival cell intact. Like every other team, Red Bull had to make sure that their design met these exacting requirements. Observing these comprehensive assessments, this milestone was reached when the RB21 cleared the FIS clearance process. Red Bull now has less than a month to finalize preparations and begin assembling the car. The countdown to preseason testing is underway, with teams scheduled to hit the track from February 26th to 28th. During this short window, teams must refine their setups, address any outstanding technical issues, and ensure that the car is optimized for performance. Additionally, Red Bull is expected to conduct a shakedown of the new car in just a few days before official testing begins. This shakedown serves as a crucial opportunity for initial system checks and data collection before full-scale testing. While Red Bull might not be the most advanced team in terms of preparation, it is steadily wrapping up the necessary steps to bring the RB21 to life. Given their dominant performance in recent seasons, expectations are high for another strong showing on the grid. The team's ability to maintain its competitive edge will be closely watched as they refine their machine ahead of the new campaign. The challenge now is ensuring that their latest innovations deliver both reliability and speed, 2 key factors that will define their success in the upcoming season. Red Bull has consistently proven its technical prowess, with a history of developing championship-winning machines. However, the competition is fierce and rival teams are working tirelessly to close the gap. Improvements in aerodynamics, the grid's power balance will be largely determined by advancements in power units and general chassis enhancements. Preseason testing is quickly approaching, and fans are getting more excited to see the new cars in action. The introduction of new liveries, technological advancements, and driver adaptations to the machinery will be major points of interest. But the big question still stands: will Red Bull be able to maintain its dominance and fend off competitors with the RB21? As the first race weekend draws nearer, there is a lot of conjecture and growing anticipation about whether Red Bull will remain the dominant force in the field this season, whether their most recent advancements will keep them ahead of the pack, or whether a new competitor will challenge their dominance. All eyes will be on Red Bull to see if they can maintain their amazing performance levels, since the upcoming test will offer the first genuine look at the 2024 ranking. What do you think will happen to Yuki Tsunoda and the Red Bull teams in spite of his constant efforts? Can they maintain their dominance, or is another team poised to overtake them? Due to rookie Liam Lawson being given the opportunity for the 2025 season, Tsunoda has been unable to secure a main seat at Red Bull over the past few years. Instead, he will continue to fight for a spot at Red Bull with Racing Bulls, while reports indicate that other teams on the grid have taken notice of his performances and may consider making an offer for the upcoming season in an attempt to recognize and reward his work. Red Bull has announced that Tsunoda will be their reserve driver for the upcoming season. This means that if either Lawson or Verstappen are unable to compete in any races, the Japanese driver will finally have the opportunity to drive a Red Bull and show off his skills at the highest level at Racing Bulls, his current team. Ayumu Iwasa, who is also competing in the Super Formula Series, will take over the reserve driver role. However, because of his commitments there, Iwasa will not be available for all races throughout the season. so Red Bull Junior driver Arvid Lindblad is expected to step in as a potential backup if he obtains the required super license to compete in Formula One. This season marks a significant turning point in Tsunoda's career. Despite his consistent speed and skill, the competition for a seat at Red Bull remains fierce if he does not secure a promotion. Although his options in Formula may initially become more constrained, other teams have taken notice of his experience and aggressive driving style, and some may view him as a significant asset for their upcoming campaigns. Tsunoda's career trajectory has been influenced by crashes, strategic choices, and reliability issues. Although he has made steady progress since joining Formula One, he has not yet established himself as a top-tier driver capable of consistently contending for podiums. If Red Bull does not offer him a permanent seat, he may need to look for opportunities elsewhere in the sport. Despite the uncertainty, many in the paddock think that his upcoming season will determine whether he stays in Red Bull's long-term vision or if his career takes a different turn. Tsunoda is adamant on demonstrating his value and versatility. This year will probably mark the next chapter of his career, but if he takes advantage of the opportunities that present themselves, he could still succeed in Formula One. Aggressive overtaking and resilience under pressure are traits that any team would value, regardless of whether he ends up with Red Bull or another team. Tsunoda may finally get his chance to prove himself in a Red Bull car this season, but the question still stands: should he keep working toward a promotion to the main team, or would it be better for him to start looking at other options within the Formula One grid? There is an additional element of suspense to the proceedings as Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc are currently in the second of 3 scheduled testing days. These sessions are being held behind closed doors with no media access permitted. Both drivers are conducting numerous tests and gathering crucial data for upcoming performance enhancements using the 2023 season's SF23 Ferrari. Hamilton was in charge of driving this Wednesday during the morning session, but according to reports from motorsport.com, he lost control of his vehicle during one of his laps, resulting in a serious collision at the Barcelona circuit track. Rescue personnel were called in right away, but fortunately, Hamilton was unharmed. The Ferrari suffered significant damage, mainly to its suspension and a number of aerodynamic components, raising questions about whether the car will be able to continue testing as scheduled. The Ferrari team's engineers and mechanics are now evaluating the exact extent of the damage to see if repairs can be finished in time for the upcoming session. Charles Leclerc was initially supposed to take over the vehicle for the afternoon session, but there are compelling signs that the damage sustained in the collision may have interfered with these intentions. According to certain rumors, Ferrari has decided to completely cancel Leclerc's session in order to make sure the vehicle is fixed before going back on the track. If this turns out to be the truth, Ferrari is probably going to start testing again tomorrow, thus today's agenda might have been essentially halved. Although the mishap was regrettable, it also offers important knowledge about the handling characteristics of the SF23 in harsh environments. This incident represents Hamilton's first unanticipated setback while driving for Ferrari, and it will be interesting to see how the team handles the matter. Without a doubt, Ferrari's engineers will examine the collision data to make the required modifications and improve the vehicle's overall performance and stability. As teams test their vehicles to the utmost in order to find flaws and potential areas for improvement, crashes during testing are not unusual. Despite the setback, testing offers teams a priceless chance to resolve any performance concerns before the racing season starts. The data gathered will help Ferrari improve the SF23's aerodynamics, mechanical grip, and balance to maximize its competitiveness on the track. It is anticipated that Hamilton's addition to the team will provide new perspectives and experience that could be essential to Ferrari's success in the forthcoming season. His input will be very important in adjusting the car's configuration to best suit his driving style and maximize economy. For the time being, we will keep a careful eye on the situation and provide more updates as they become available. The dangers of exceeding performance limitations. even in a controlled testing environment, are brought home by Hamilton's disaster at the Barcelona circuit. Watch this space for additional updates as Ferrari evaluates its next course of action in order to optimize the SF23 for the forthcoming races.